Rescue crews are searching the rubble of a collapsed building for a mother and her baby. The two have been missing since an explosion blew apart a convenience store and units in Sydney's inner west yesterday morning. The body of a 30-year-old man was recovered from the wreckage last night, but there's still no sign of 31-year-old Bianca O'Brien and her 1-year-old son Jude. Reporter Deborah Rice joins me now from Rozelle. Deb, is it still being treated as a rescue operation?
Yes, it is. Now, fire crews say that the first 24 hours of an operation like this is, of course, the most crucial, but they haven't lost hope yet. They point out that people have been rescued from landslides and earthquakes days afterwards, and it could actually be the case that they find Bianca O'Brien and her son Jude. However, as you say, there has already been one body pulled out, and it's been a very intense operation. Quite apart from the building collapse, there was that fire which could have had an impact of its own on the mother and the son. But they've put in special listening devices as well as cameras to see if they can find any signs of life, as each brick is painstakingly removed by hand. The danger now is that the rubble itself could collapse in on what still remains, or that the walls in the neighbouring buildings might actually collapse. They're very unstable, according to the rescue crews. There's also a large slab, which was the bottom of the apartment that the mother and child lived in, which is precariously balanced. So for their sake, if they are still alive, and for the sake of the rescue crews themselves, because their safety is at stake, they're having to move very, very carefully at this stage.
Deborah, where the incident took place is a busy shopping as well as residential area. How's the community handling the incident?
Well, yes, it is a busy area. It's also the gateway to the Balmain Peninsula, which has thousands of people living, and the cars are blocked, also the pedestrians are blocked beyond here. So there's been major congestion, of course, particularly at the peak hours, because there are only a few roads in and out of this area, and this is the main artery to the Balmain Peninsula. Now, the fact that it is so isolated means that it's a very tight-knit community as well. Everyone knows everyone else. People work here, they live here, their children go to the school just here. So they're finding it quite devastating that those within their own community have been struck by this tragedy. They're also quite angered by the idea that it might have been deliberate rather than accidental. Here's some of what they had to say.
It certainly brings back memories. I'm shattered by what's happened, and I think the community in general is in shock, and it'll take a long time to recover from this, the nice, innocent community atmosphere we've got here. It's a hell of a shock, and people have lost their lives in horrible ways, and it's just tragic.
I know the guy in the phone shop. I know it was his sister. It's just awful. I just can't believe it happened here.
Local residents are visibly upset. Deborah, what's been the impact on local businesses?
Well, the woman you just heard from there is Jenny Albrecht. She's actually the person who runs the Rozelle markets here at the school. That brings thousands of people from across Sydney every Saturday and Sunday. Now, they're actually being closed this week, and Jenny Albrecht says it just wouldn't be right to run them, especially with the noise and the fun that usually goes on. But she's also very personally impacted. Many of the other businesses here have been personally impacted. But the lack of traffic on both foot and in cars means that a lot of businesses have had to close anyway. And it seems that they will actually be experiencing the same sort of congestion for at least another day. It could be days, in fact. This morning at around 7:30, the crews said that they're only a quarter of the way through the rubble. Only the front section had been cleared, so there's another 3/4 of very long, difficult, tedious work ahead. But as I say, still some hope for the mother and child.
Reporter Deborah Rice in Sydney.